Good day, Guy and Adi.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome to Rothenburg, 50th edition of the TCM Congress here in Germany. We just followed a one-day course of Dr.Tan Acupuncture, given by YouTube, and some great assistants. Yeah, we had a great day. Thank you for joining this interview, and I'd like to ask you some questions about where you come from, what your history is. So Adi, if I may start with you, you mentioned that you were already 20 years in...
Almost 20 years practicing Chinese medicine. I've been the head of alternative medicine unit in a major hospital in Israel for about 17 years. I'm now the director of the biggest school in the country. In Israel, it's a 4-year program. Actually, I've been practicing Dr.Tan Balance Method almost 15 years. Just the balance method. I encountered it originally in Taiwan. After I did an internship in China, I went to Taiwan and I encountered the balance method, and from this point on, I started.
You fell in love.
Yeah, completely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
When Dr. Tan was first in Israel, we made a connection to him. Then I'm bouncing a little bit to your turf, but
you can tell my history also. You know everything about.
Yeah, you work together,
yeah,
like you're a good team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy, how long are you already practicing?
That's fine, really, I trust him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. We went to Germany, and then we made a very good personal connection, and then from that point we started bringing him to Israel, and with him we established the Israeli Tan Center. That's a center for study, research, writing books about the method, teaching and making internship, and hope it will portray Dr. Tan's contribution to acupuncture for many more years. After he passed away, we are really into giving him all the respect that we can, because he taught us not just the method but how to broaden it up, how to make it even better with the same principles. So that's basically the idea that we're doing now.
So you want to add something?
I'll add it. What makes us more unique is the fact that we worked, or we're still working in the hospital for many years, and the way that we established the Tan Center inside of the hospital ward gave us the option to study, to practice, and to bring the method to another level. If it's an orthopedic or pain or internal medicine. Talking shortly about myself, I met Adi at the hospital and worked together for around 14 years in that hospital. He was there before.
But did you work there as a acupuncturist, or did you do another profession before?
Acupuncturist. It's an acupuncture department that treats people all around the hospital in different wards. And today I'm directing a different department in a different hospital. The department is the Chinese medicine department, and yes, I think we can say we are fully in love with the system, Dr. Tan, the way of thinking, the way you apply the method on people and on our patients.
So what kind of man was Dr. Tan? How can you describe him?
You can say a
Confucianist,
lot of things.
benevolence. Just in one word, benevolence. He was funny and smart and giving and loving. He loved humanity, he loved mankind, he loved teaching, he loved sharing his knowledge, and he was just a great human being.
And where did
he was serious without being so serious? You know what I mean?
It's a good combination.
Giving everything, having fun in the seminars, understand his way of teaching. He has a way of thinking about how to teach the method, not just teaching the method. He has his own unique way doing that.
Where did he learn acupuncture himself? Did he have certain teachers that he based his...
as far as we know, he's a legacy of acupuncturist from his family. Of course, because he lived in the US, he had a license. So technically, if you look in his history, you will find that he was a student in the Pacific College. But I don't. He just took it for the license, and he probably knew more than most of the students there already.
He actually started in the US. He started as an engineer. Always talk about his work as an engineer, building bridges, and he had those stories about how he built and think about the Chinese medicine and the way he described the trusts in his global balance, coming up to his mind a little bit from his work as an engineer.
So he developed this whole system by himself. It's not.
Well, technically, if you look at deep down to the roots of Chinese medicine, you will pretty much find everything Dr. Tan talked about written there very clearly. I think the most genius of him was that he rephrased Chinese medicine in a way that fits the 21st century practitioner in the West. Because in China, in ancient time, when you learn Chinese medicine, you learn with your master for many years. And today we are actually learning a program, either a 3-year program, a 4-year program, a 1-year program, it doesn't matter. And then you go to your clinic and you're all alone. And you're all alone with this ambiguous information and sometimes vague, and you start, seeking in the dark. So he rephrased the whole concept to make it simple. Now at this point I would mention that most of the people know and heard about Dr. Tan because of the 1-2-3 balance method. The 1-2-3 is just the very basic level, and the top level of him teaching and practicing internal medicine is enchanting and ingenious at the same time. So a lot of people, they learn the 1-2-3, they think, yeah, that's it. It's just for pain, it's just for orthopedic, they stop learning it. But actually, if you go and you learn global balance and conversion and 5 elements and seasons and 12 magical points, and then you go on and on, you can treat most cases and really in a really insightful way. So it's not a symptomatic treatment, it's not just for orthopedic and pain, it's for everything. But you need to take your time learning it,
No. You also addressed a worry of Dr. Tan. You just mentioned it, Guy.
A what?
He was worried.
He was concerned about his legacy.
He was concerned. Yeah, he was concerned about the way people will teach the method, or what will stay from his method after he will be gone. And the most important thing for him is to have people that teach the same way he used to teach it, and to keep with his legacy and not changing or combining things of the method and create a new method, because he knew it won't be there for a long time. And if you want to preserve the method, you have to have someone that will keep on with the same work exactly like he did. That's actually the reason he made the gold certificate. So there are people around the world that have this gold certificate. They are the one that allowed to basically teach the method.
So besides you two, I assume that you both have the gold certificate. There are some others around the world.
There are some others around the world. Our let's say suggestion to people that want to learn this method is to just check that the teacher has a gold certificate. Basically, there are enough teachers, so you don't have to go to someone else. Okay.
So, and you mentioned that you both work in a hospital. That is for many people, like for Dutch people, but also it's quite special that you are
very
in
special.
a hospital.
If you look at it 10 years or 14 or 15 years ago, it would be very special and new thing to have a department, a Chinese department inside of the hospital. And the work is inpatient and outpatient, and you have work. We did research at the ER, at the emergency room, checking if the balance method acupuncture working for people with whiplash, neck and back pain after injuries. And we work at the delivery room and the different kind of inpatient wards.
And that
So
only
Even in the
not-
intensive care unit, actually, we did some
Yeah.
practice and we did another research about irritable bowel syndrome with
Yeah.
the gastro department. So it was pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, what makes it so beautiful and interesting is the integration of work with the Western medicine and the Eastern medicine. But once we are working as acupuncture, we are doing just balance method.
Yeah.
That's what we are doing at the hospital.
And this is not only happening in the Asaf Harova hospital.
Yeah. It was there,
Yeah.
and now it's in a different hospital called Asuta, Ashdod.
And I heard Jair Maimon talk about it. I heard Gil Basilai
They
talk
are
about
in
it.
another hospital.
So there are many hospitals in Israel.
Actually,
that are,
these days we have almost, I think I could say, every hospital in Israel
let's say
has
every second
kind
hospital.
of department of Chinese medicine. It can be 2 to 3 acupuncturists, and sometimes it can be 20 acupuncturists.
what led to this movement? What led to this change?
I think that the opening of the doctors, like when you work with very senior professor or doctors, they already know what their abilities are and know what they can do and what they cannot do. And once they can see the results and they open to the idea, the ball starts rolling, you know. And one patient goes get the acupuncture treatment, and then he come back and he describe the doctor how better he feels, and then he send another patient, then it starts rolling.
So this is a snowball
and it's
effect.
it's just about the way you do personal relationships with the Western medicine.
Do you see this trend already expanding outside of Israel?
Yeah, well, I could say two things about that. First, when you address a doctor, you have to go to the common ground. The common ground is that we both want to help people. That's the common ground. Any other way of communication is not going to work.
No.
This is the basic, and I think most doctors, they do feel that. And then if one is open-minded, that's enough for you. You don't need all of them to be open-minded. I can share in the hospital that not all doctors were open-minded. The second is it takes time, and it takes time and patience. If I can take, for example, the first time we did a case study, research study, like a book report in the orthopedic unit, it was awful. The doctors completely didn't like it. Most doctors said it, they were like, what is this nonsense? And fast forward 10 years, we did another one, and all the doctors, most of them were there even at the first time. They were saying, wow, amazing, and now we should build the protocols to see where it is more effective and how we utilize it. So 10 years, it's quite a long time, but it really changes people's mind. If you think things will happen in a month or two, it's probably not gonna happen. It takes years.
This is of course good news for and good inspiration for people in other countries.
Hopefully.
And I agree with you. You need to find a common ground, and I think you need to search for the same language. Yeah. So use a language that both of you understand, and then talk in that way. Yeah. And so the persistence. Yeah. Okay. So this is your first time in Rothenburg. Last week I met you in
It's
the.
actually not our
like
first
the
time.
sixth time.
Oh sorry. My bad.
But cool.
6th time, 2nd time teaching here,
Yeah.
but 6th time here.
But actually, first time we did a practical day, so a full practical.
Yeah,
day.
that's
So
what I meant.
That's what you meant.
I meant.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in the Netherlands, probably, you know. That's TCM
for
conference.
teaching.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
teaching. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For teaching, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell anything to viewers that haven't heard of this amazing congress in Rothenburg? What it's like?
I can tell.
You
We
start.
actually talk about it in the car while driving from Holland after the Zong Congress to here, and I said, you know what? The first time I came here 6 years ago, I felt that the place is amazing. First, the place itself. It looks amazing. You have the Tauber, you have the buildings, you have the old city. It's an amazing place. So just to come here, to be here, it's okay. Sometimes this is what people want. They just want an excuse to come here, but they come to be here. Second, you can meet. We have both a lot of friends around the world, and this is our meeting point. You know, we come here every year. We meet everybody, we can talk, exchange some experience things and other things that we want to make for the next year or to prepare for the next year. So that I would say one of the best congress in the world, or at least in the Western world.
I think this is the biggest one outside of China.
That is.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You know, every good Congress needs to deliver three things. It needs to deliver some new information, you know, and something new you pick up in the Congress. It needs to give you some inspiration, that you go back to your clinic full of inspiration, and it needs to give you good environment and mingling. And I think the Rothenburg is doing it for 50 years, so yeah, it's probably doing it quite well.
Yeah,
it delivers. It delivers. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, and we tie up as a family. We the mingling and
we're a community,
the
and
friends.
then people see that there is a big community out there.
Yeah.
Many places, many countries, many new information, cooperation happening. And you have to come open-minded, and then things happen to you.
That's really great. You brought out a book.
Yeah, the first
I
one.
maybe already some time ago. For me, it was new. But how long? Do you have next?
Talking about the book.
Yeah, I put some pictures as well in it, but you can show it, of course. You can be proud of it.
Yeah, that's the book.
That's the book.
Yeah,
That's the book.
And we love the book. That's the first book, 1, 2, 3. It's the whole system, 1, 2, 3. All information that we got and we give in the seminar, and the second book is already
It's on its way, yeah?
almost ready.
On his way.
At least around 2 months, maybe 3 months.
Perhaps 4.
Some editing
It is in pregnancy now. It's not yet delivered.
Very good.
Yeah,
we should
so
be patient. Yeah.
it's going to be about global balance conversion, or the second step of the acupuncture.
And a lot of case studies.
Yeah, a lot of case studies. A lot of
Okay.
case studies. We have an argument about the color of the cover, but we'll sort it out.
Thank you both
Thank
very
you
much
so
for
much.
this
Yeah.
interview, and wish you a safe journey back to Israel tomorrow. You'll be driving.
Some of us will be driving, some of us will be
stay.
driving
Flying.
Saturday.
Oh.
So
They can join the party on
yeah,
Friday
exactly.
night.
Yes, it's also
The
a
amazing
party.
party
Yeah.
is very
It's a party.
important.
Parties
Every
are
Congress needs a party. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
every Congress
Thank you
needs
again.
one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Cheers.
Thank you. See you.